Lyndon Pugh, editor of the CCnews.
What are you doing here? What you letting in here for? Do you see your picture?
You got here on time.
Well, hello everybody. I suppose quite a lot of you may or some may not have remembered this black and white magazine that used to come out about every 5 weeks for the last 3.5 years. Well, it really got bankrupted by the success of our movement. And I had to bite the bullet and change it somewhat into something more like this. Thank you. Now, you're looking here at a complete amateur typesetter, computer user. I'm a Macintosh user, and of course some of you will know that means a person that just points and clicks and things and it all works magically. And well, it pretty much does, and so I've been very lucky, but still it was an amazing struggle getting this together. But anyway, enough of my whinging. I would like to read to you from it, because what I went and did in here is I printed speech to the annual general meeting and conference of the Legalised Cannabis Alliance, Norwich, April 6, 2002, by the editor of CCnews. And I thought, here I'm killing two birds with one stone. I get my speech under control, which last year it wasn't, and filled some space and connected the old with the new. So I'll read it to you. The trouble with CCnews was that the whole budget was tiny. It was a voluntary effort. We were asking for support. Subscribers kept us out of the worst of it, but we were always vulnerable. The magazine battled on for 3.5 years, covering court cases, conferences, demonstrations, Smokey Bear's picnics, even being granted an exclusive interview in Brussels with Madame Magda Elvert of the Belgian Green Party, who's the Minister of Public Health, Social Affairs and the Environment in Belgium. They have a coalition government, so you've got a Green as a minister. She gave me a whole hour meeting in the ministry in her office, solely on the strength of a magazine I had in my hand that looked like that. And she told me all sorts of things that she then said, don't publish that, that's off the record. So I don't know, I thought that, we're getting somewhere here. And then in September 2001, Colin Davis went and opened the Dutch Experience coffee shop in Stockport. But that's the trouble with scraping along on a tiny budget. When the going gets really good, it runs you right out of money. I went to Stockport as often as I could to observe and report developments, and full tanks of petrol are expensive and bad news for the environment. But the last straw, remember him? Was when the bill for CCnews 28 had to be paid. I'd been unable to resist printing the cover with the Dutch Experience logo in colour. It had to be done. And it doubled the printing bill. So I brought out two CCnewses of only 12 pages each so that I could avoid that red ink. And at that time I thought, right, this is either going under or it's going over. And I said, it's going over, because I'm not stopping doing this. Anyway, things have changed. Why do we have to have all this hard text and things that people read? People hate reading, I've learned. People don't want to read anything, just want pictures. Well, I'm not sure if it's just pictures, so I thought, right, pictures first, reading afterwards. Perhaps when they got fed up with the competitions and prizes and cartoons and all the other stuff in here, then they might read this, not my speech, but the other news articles in the paper. So I would like to just really come up and blow my own trumpet. But before I close, I'll hand these new ones out in a minute, or in the break perhaps. I must pay all respect to someone who, now I wrote this a week ago, I must pay all respect to someone who could be said to have come, you'd kill me for this, essentially from a prison cell to the House of Commons. Invited to explain the cannabis issue to MPs on the Select Committee, whose results may well be published by the time you get to read this, while founding a political party on the way, the Legalised Cannabis Alliance. Alan Buffrey was the first person I met. I want this all on record. The first person I met when I got involved with the cannabis issue 4 years ago. I came to Norwich, and he will probably be the last campaigner still fighting when everyone else has settled for less than absolute legalization or died of old age. Thanks for everything you've done, Alan. Without you, it's not here. Right, I can have a breather now. You'll get one of these. You can get 20 if you want to be a stockist, because the thing about CCnews now is I'm not whinging and going, oh, can't you support this noble effort? No, they can't. Right? Try it and see. I'm giving it away. I'm giving all these magazines away because I've arranged the structure so that advertisers pay me enough money that I don't need any money from you. So readers get it all free, so do stockists. And let's see any complaints coming from that.